You talked about Madonna in the movie tie-in edition. You talked about Madonna on the panel.
I just feel like, because the truth is, School for Good and Evil is like 80% Madonna's DNA. She should sue me. I'm Soman.
And I'm June.
And welcome to an overstuffed movie edition of Evernever TV.
Woo!
There's been so many things going on. I am moving at the speed of light, and I'm somehow trying to channel my inner Sadhguru and yogic and Indian heritage in order to calm down. Didn't even have time for a haircut. Look at my hair.
It looks fine,
to throw out the garbage. I am basically out of underpants. I have been on tour for the last 100 years and went to like 7 cities in 6 days, and then yesterday I had to do 8 hours of press interviews. I'm tired of talking. But we are here, and there's just been so much going on because Rise came out and has been a huge hit with readers so far. Those of you who haven't read it better read it before all the spoilers start circulating, because there's more twists in this little book than some of the bigger School for Good and Evil books combined. So check out Rise. I finished my tour in the US, but I'll be going on a big tour in the UK. And for those of you overseas, you might get to meet some School for Good and Evil cast members. So stay tuned to my UK tour.
For those of you who pre-ordered and also ordered Rise of the School for Good and Evil the week it came out and submitted your receipt, you will be receiving your deluxe School for Good and Evil silver keychain very soon. And for those of you who didn't get the chance to submit your receipt or claim your School for Good and Evil key, we will have a few extras left that we'll be giving away in giveaways in the weeks and months to come, so keep your eyes peeled for that.
It seemed like everybody wanted that silver chain. Gold lost very handily. The School for Good and Evil readers are like, they're just about quality and not about like...
They're sophisticated.
Shine. Yeah, which is why I always feel pressure when I write any book, because you can't pull the wool over them. It has to be perfect. Speaking of which, I'm working on the sequel to Rise right now, called, well, I can't say that. It's even wilder than Rise, and for those of you who've read Rise, you know that's not possible. Meanwhile, another book just came out a couple days ago. It's the Evernever Handbook with this absolutely spectacular new cover done by Jacopo Bruno, and of course the interior artwork by Michael Blank. It's absolutely beautiful. It's very heavy, and it's just sort of the perfect collection to your shelf for all of you who love School for Good and Evil and want all the different editions. So check out this awesome new version of the handbook, and if you don't have the handbook and always were kind of waiting to get it, now is the time to add to your collection. And it, of course, fills in a lot of the visual elements of the story and sort of presents to you the entire school like a yearbook. So I think that covers all book stuff. Right.
Which is like now 1/3 only of all the news we have.
There's so much going on. Okay, so let's go through the days. So on Monday,
we revealed the official School for Good and Evil movie poster.
One of the movie posters.
One of the movie posters.
There are more coming. I've seen some early drafts, and they're all spectacular. Really, in a lot of ways, it captures the spirit of that first book cover, right? Because the first book had the 2 girls and it had the 2 castles, and this in a way sort of zooms out and pulls out even further to give you this kind of epic feel of what the school is like. The geography is right. It sort of follows the map of the school, and everything about it makes you think, okay, I'm entering a universe I know. It's a completely new logo, of course, which I love about movies. And it captures the magical whimsy of the movie, but also the darkness. So then what happened on Tuesday?
On Tuesday, everyone lost their minds and Instagram was broken because the School for Good and Evil official movie teaser trailer came out.
You don't know how much I've had to suffer for the last 10 years of my life with people being like, trailer, teaser, my DMs constantly. You got a teaser, and for the first time you kind of know and feel generally what the vibe is. And I think it can just sort of settle your heart and calm you down and know that we are all on path to exactly the kind of movie you want. And it's big and beautiful and bold, and you got to see Charlize, and you got to see Carrie, you got to see Agatha in a gown, you got to see the Stimp, Sophie in her Gavilan outfit, you got to see the Storian if you look very closely. And the Storian is, I mean, like when you picture the Storian and the book, that's exactly what we always picture, but bigger. In my head, it was always like small little chamber with a small little book and everything's always like 10 times bigger.
When you showed me the story, and I was just baffled by how big it was.
Everything is so big. That's how the movie feels. Everything is like, maybe because I live in New York, everything in my head is always very small because my apartment's very small. So like everything's kind of New York size, and then in the movie everything's like massive. So I have all these pictures from on set when I'm walking around carrying the Storian, and I think the Storian's like as tall as I am.
It's massive. They actually made it, right? It's not like a CG thing. It's like kind of moved with...
No, I was carrying around, and someone would follow me around to make sure I didn't break it. Because I think it was the only one they had. So that was on Tuesday. Then Wednesday, I reposted the Geek Week panel that I did with Sophia and Caruso and Sophia Wiley, or Sophia and Agatha, as part of the Geek Week reveals. Doing it was the most fun thing in the history of the world because those two girls are the best. But the other funny part is in that panel where we're talking about how Agatha would never betray one of her like girlfriends for a guy, and me and Sophia and Caruso are like, yeah. I've done it so many times in my life. I remember one time in high school, like, yeah, no, there's many.
In high school?
I'm not going to tell these stories. Okay, then Thursday something happened.
We revealed the School for Good and Evil Movie Tie-in Edition.
Oh my god. Okay, movie tie-in editions are usually terrible and everybody hates them and we don't want to talk about them, and you sort of shamefacedly post it on your post and be like, buy it, but you don't really meet it. This is the most spectacular movie tie-in edition of all time because it has the best bonus content ever, which is a 35-page movie diary about all my time on set and all my adventures on set. It's really super in-depth. It's based on this collection of diaries that Madonna did when she was making Evita back in 1995 that I reread over and over and over. I read it 100 times because it was so honest and kind of unvarnished and the truth of how she was feeling at every given moment. And I'm like, I'm going to do the Madonna diaries. And there's no spoilers. I mean, like, it won't spoil the movie, so you'll be able to read it beforehand because it comes out on August 30th. You'll definitely want to get your copy because obviously they're going to be limited editions. You can pre-order at the link in the bio. So I think that's everything. There's more to come. But right now I need to go to acupuncture.
Continue to pray for Soman's finger.
It's one day it will be off and it will be a glorious day. But I'm still beating everyone at tennis, so that's all that matters. Alright, I'll see you later.
Bye guys.